Casey Anthony waved goodbye on her way back to jail. The young mother lost a battle in court today and still refuses to help deputies find her missing daughter.
What would it take to allow Casey to sit down with investigators and tell what she knows?
Tonight, Channel 9 uncovered one more piece to this puzzle. 2 cans of gasoline stolen from Kaylee Anthony's grandparents' backyard. Late this afternoon, a judge made a ruling against Casey Anthony.
Her lawyer wanted the court to prevent the Orange County Jail and the Sheriff's Office from releasing any more of her jailhouse conversations.
Your position, Mr. Baez, seems to be just trust us. We're trying to do an investigation here, and if we get anything, we'll tell you about it. Just trust us. Well, it just doesn't work that way.
Attorney Jose Baez argued recent audio tapes of 911 calls and calls Casey Anthony made from jail should stay out of the hands of the media. But the judge said Baez just didn't like the negative publicity, and he decided the calls can still be released. We have team coverage tonight, beginning with Channel 9's Kathy Bellich, who asked Baez why Casey Anthony still has done nothing to help find Kaylee. Kathy?
Well, we asked Casey Anthony's attorney some tough questions. Why is she not able to give investigators some reliable information about a woman she says cared for her own child for almost 2 years? And what would it take for her to sit down with investigators and tell them what she knows about Kaylee's disappearance? We did not get straight answers. Casey Anthony laughed with her attorneys in court before her hearing started today, but after that she was still quiet about key information that could locate her missing daughter, Kaylee. The day Kaylee's grandmother reported her missing, Casey told the 911 dispatcher Kaylee was with her nanny, Zenaida Fernandez-Gonzalez. 2 weeks later, the woman is a mystery. Why can't she help them find this woman? If she used her as a nanny for 1.5 years or 2 years, there's not a photograph, there's not a phone number, there's not a home that she can point to show this is where I dropped her off every day for 2 years. Nobody understands that.
Well,
can you explain that?
She, first of all, have not had ample opportunity to work with law enforcement. They arrested her after having approximately 6 hours with her.
Investigators say they got nothing but lies. Those questions can be answered in 5 minutes. How come she hasn't answered those questions yet?
If you fear revealing certain information might affect you or your daughter, I think that would be a viable explanation. There's certain issues in this case that I have not disclosed and I will not disclose because they're relevant to her case.
What would it take for her to sit down and tell them what she knows?
That's something that I've discussed with law enforcement and I'm not going to comment on. Okay? Excuse me.
Is it immunity? You're asking for immunity from prosecution?
No, we haven't discussed any type of immunity or anything like that.
Now, Casey lost today's court battle over public records, but tomorrow she's hoping that her $500,000 bond will be reduced. The 5th District Court of Appeal is looking for results of a psychological evaluation and asking the Attorney General's office for its response to her request for a bond reduction by noon tomorrow, and there's no word on when a decision could come. Reporting live at the Orange County Courthouse, Kathy Bellich, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
And now a startling new development in this case that we first broke today on WFTV.com. Right around the time that Kaylee disappeared, her grandparents reported someone had stolen 2 cans of gasoline from their shed. And mother, Casey Anthony, had been known to steal gas before. Channel 9's Eric Rasmussen continues our team coverage now from the Anthony house. And Eric, could this gas somehow help explain Kaylee's sudden disappearance?
Well, we posed that exact question to the sheriff's office as soon as we saw this report. Investigators say they don't believe there's a direct connection, but at least one admitted to me the timing of this break-in and what was taken from the family's property certainly raised a lot of eyebrows. Kaylee Anthony may have already been missing when deputies were called out to the Anthony family's home in late June. But at that time, the focus was a burglary to a storage shed in the backyard. According to this June 24th report from the Orange County Sheriff's Office, George Anthony said someone stole 2 gas cans and broke the lock to his storage shed to get them.
I'd rather not say anything, guys, at the moment. Thanks.
The family avoided the topic after court. Investigators did say Casey Anthony has stolen gas from her family before, but they don't think the burglary has a connection to Kaylee's disappearance and don't believe it was used to destroy evidence in the case.
Well, you have to look at it. It may be something and it may not.
The break-in happened in the middle of what's now an even more mysterious timeline. The family says Kaylee was last seen June 15th. The burglary to the storage shed happened around June 24th, the same day Casey Anthony's ex-fiancé says he heard little Kaylee in the background of a phone conversation with Casey. Casey wasn't arrested until July 16th, and the investigation led detectives to the same backyard where deputies had been just a few weeks earlier.
And as we come back out live, we can tell you the sheriff's report does say a deputy dusted for fingerprints on that storage shed and didn't find any. Just a short while ago, in the last hour or so, the family did appear to arrive back here at the home. They went straight into the garage and didn't have anything to say. We're live here in Orlando. Eric Rasmussen, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Right now, the evidence found in Casey Anthony's car trunk is being analyzed by a state-run crime lab, and we wanted to know how long the analysis might take. A private lab told us it would take a minimum of 2 days to analyze a simple DNA sample. But there are so many crimes in Florida, it usually takes technicians close to 30 days before they can even look at a sample. This case has only been under investigation for 2 weeks.